Hi and welcome back to the series where I make a square from the Granny Square Stitches card deck every week all year. We are up to this one, which is number 16, so we're at week 16, and this one is called Crowns. And we get to make these fun little bobbly things. Those are called picots. So we'll cover that when we get there. As with all of these squares, I am using Cascade Anthem yarn. So I have got them in colors Lemon Ice, Poppy Red, and Peach Pink. Those are the colors that we're going to be working with. So let's take a look at the card and the symbols. As always, we're going to read all the words. So to work the square shown on the card, first we're going to make 17 chain and follow the chart, working in 1 row stripes of yarns A through C. So I've got those until square. On the last row of the pattern, omit any picots, and then we're going to do our single crochet border like we've been doing all along. If you want to make this a bigger square, or you want to turn it into a blanket or something like that, there's your stitch pattern repeat. So to work the stitch pattern any size, your starting chain needs to be a multiple of 5, and then you add 7. Okay, now I did notice one discrepancy between the chart and the picture on the front. So this is where we need to make a decision. The chart here shows our starting row, and I'll bring it up nice and close for you. We've got all these double crochets and we've got some picots. If you flip it over, there are no picots here. So, gotta figure out what we're gonna do there. I think I'm gonna follow the picture. I may or may not have tried this out already and have been experimenting. So I think it's gonna look nicer if there's no picots, and then it kind of matches what's on the top there because there's no picots on that last row. You're putting your border straight into your top row. So no picots on the bottom. If you want to follow the chart, there are picots, but I'm just going to make those on these sort of fan-shaped clusters. They look more like true crowns to me. So, if you know me at all, you know that altering a pattern comes as no surprise. Okay, I have got my yarn. I'm going to put a slip knot in my yarn and on my hook, and I'm going to chain 17, 16 and 17. Looking at our chart, this is where we are. I've got my 17 chains. I need to put my first double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. Now these 3 chains are pretending to be a double crochet, and I do stitch into them, so I am going to put a stitch marker in the top of that turning chain. Okay, so I got to count down 4 chains, and then I need 3 double crochets. You should all know by now that I like to work into my back bump, so I'm going to turn my chain over. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that 4th chain gets my first double crochet. So I've got a couple of stitch markers here ready to go so that I can mark off my turning chains. If we look at what's on what we've got going here, I've just done a double crochet. This stitch here, this V here, right behind my hook, that's my double crochet. So I need to mark off the V that's right beneath that. That is the top of that starting chain 3 that we need to crochet into. And now I need to put a double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Now I'm going to chain 2, skip 2 chains, and repeat that. So 3 double crochets. As a reminder, to make a double crochet, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, or in this case chain, pull up a loop, and then you're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And I need 1 more in the next chain. I'm going to chain 2, skip 2 chains, and then do our 3 double crochet repeat. Our last chain is going to get a double crochet, and we are going to change color in that double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over and insert into my last chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and then pause. So I drop my yellow. I can bring in my next color, my poppy red, find the end. I'm going to lay that on my hook and pull that through the loops on my hook. Okay, let's take a look at the chart again. So we're right here. I've just changed color. Now I need to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I'm going to mark the 3rd chain because that's where I will be double crocheting into at the end of the next row. So I'm going to chain 3, place a marker, chain another 3, and then I come over and we're going to do our first little crown. So let's see what that looks like. Firstly, I'm going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and mark that 3rd chain. I'm going to chain 3 more, and that's going to help me hop over these 3 double crochets. And now I'm going to do my little crown. So I'm going to yarn over and insert into that chain 2 space, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's my first double crochet. I'm going to make another double crochet. Now I'm going to do my picot. Now it does say all the instructions for all the stitches and all the little symbols are in this little booklet. And the instructions for a picot are to chain however many chains the picot calls for. In this case, we have 3 little chains. And then slip stitch into the very first chain. I find that especially in this particular pattern, makes the little bobble off center. Because we kind of want this to be in the middle, we're going to put it in a different place. So first of all, let's do our 3 chains. Now I'm going to come back. This is the top of my double crochet. Let's just zoom in and see if we can. So this is the top of the double crochet that I just made. This is the V of my double crochet. I want to slip stitch through the front loop of the V, and then I'm going to catch this other little loop here. So I've done my 3 chains for my picot. I'm going to take my hook and I'm going to go through come down from the top, go through the front loop, and then I'm going to catch this other little loop. It's just kind of the front of the double crochet stitch. And now I'm going to pull my yarn through that for a slip stitch. And now I can do my 3rd double crochet of my little cluster. And now my picot is sitting more in the center of those 3 double crochets. Now we're going to chain 3. And we're going to repeat our little cluster in the next chain 2 space. So 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, whoops. I'm going to chain 3. Then I'm going to come down, I'm going to go through the top of the V of the double crochet, and then I'm going to catch that other front bar and slip stitch. And then I'm going to put 1 more double crochet. And now those little bobbles, those little picots are more centered in the middle of our 3 double crochet clusters. Okay, we are right here. So I need to chain 3 and double crochet in the top of that turning chain. So that's where my stitch marker is. And I'm going to change color to my peach pink. So I'm going to chain 3, hop over these last 3 double crochet, find where my stitch marker is. I take my stitch marker out, but hold on to the spot where it is so I don't lose it. Yarn over, insert into that chain, trying to catch those 2 loops of that V. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and then I'm going to bring in my peach. Drape that over my hook and pull it through. And with my peach, I can chain 3 and mark that 3rd chain. Now let's take a look and see what we are supposed to do now. So right here, I've just chained 3. We're going to immediately put one of our crowns in that first chain 3 space. And then we're going to do the repeat pattern. So chain 3, crown, chain 3, crown, and a double crochet in the last turning chain. So that's where I have a stitch marker. All right, I've got my chain of 3, and so this first chain 3 space is going to get my first crown. So that starts with a double crochet, a double crochet, and a picot. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to come down through the front of my stitch and slip stitch, and then follow that up with another double crochet. Chain 3, hop over this crown and make another one. In my last chain 3 space, I can make one more crown. And then we are going to double crochet right where our stitch marker is. Because remember we had like 6 chains here. So I can take my stitch marker out, but I'm going to hold on to where it was so that I can put my final double crochet in the correct spot. And now we're switching back to yellow, which is waiting for us. So I can just drop my peach and pull up my yellow and finish my double crochet. And so now we are going to repeat rows 2 and 3. That's what this little bar means. You're going to repeat these. So we are back at this side. We're going to chain 6 and make our first crown in that first space there. According to the front, we are going to do 3 more rows and then we should be square. So I'm going to keep doing that, and I will meet you up when I have it square. See you then. I am ready to start my border. I had to add an extra row. I checked it after what the card showed as, you know, their square, but mine was not square. Now it is indeed square. So very simple to do, really. Just keep going until it's square. So I haven't changed color yet. Let's put that last double crochet back in. I've already cut my yarn and I've woven in all my other ends, but I didn't do anything with these ones yet. So I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and then we can start working single crochets across. So I'm going to do these first 4 stitches, and then I want to see what our numbers are like. Okay, so I've got 4 there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, 15 it is. I know some of our others have been 14 stitches. I'm not going to worry about the stitch count just yet. I know that I want to sew these together, but if I use something like the mattress stitch, it is kind of easy to fudge it a little bit and make your squares fit together. So however many rows you have done, just make sure that you have like 14 or 15 stitches going across the top. Okay, so that is my last stitch. Now I can do my corner technique, which is simply a chain one, and then we're going to go back into that same stitch. Now looking down the side, I see I forgot an end to weave in. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows. If I do 2 per row, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, with the beginning one as 15, that'll work. Alrighty. So I've already got one in the first stitch. So I think we'll just do, yeah, I think I'll do one more here, and then I'll have 3 at the bottom is what I will do. So one in the side there. I want to catch as many of these sort of floating strands as I can as I come down the side. And we're looking for 2 stitches per row, so per sort of color change. And I do like to try and grab 2 strands of yarn. It just makes everything a little bit more secure. Okay, so I'm going to put one here at the very top of this color section, one through the side of this chain, if I can get my hook through. And then we're going to come down to the bottom. Find that last chain along the bottom if I can. Let's just do a quick stitch count. 15. Okay, so now I can chain 1, and we're gonna work, I've got 1 in the corner there, so 3 more, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then we'll come up the side, go around one more time, and I will come back when my square is finished. See you then. And there we are, all finished. Ends woven in, and I'm quite happy with it. I think the placement of the slip stitches for the picots have helped keep those little bobbles sort of more in the center of the crowns per se than I was getting in when I was doing it in a different way. So that is week 16 crowns. Next week we're going to take a look at this one, which is cluster blocks. So that'll be another fun one. I will see you then.